Hello and welcome back for another episode of Patriotic Housewife. Well, this is hilarious for those of you that don't like Ben Shapiro, and we're waiting for his day to come. Well, it's here. He was listed in the very files, you know what files I'm talking about, that he said didn't exist. It was nothing. It was a hoax. Well, Benny boy, congratulations. So we're just going to jump right into this because I think most of us can agree Ben Shapiro gives you the ick. Sorry, he gives me the ick. When he talked about picking up Charlie Kirk's bloody microphone and he'll like carry the torch for Charlie, I wanted to throw up. And I think a lot of us felt that way. Even my husband was like, that was tasteless. Don't know many people that would say that, especially someone who was not close to Charlie. It's really weird. He's another Charlie was my friend after Charlie's gone to no longer speak for himself. And for anyone who was close to Charlie knows that Ben Shapiro was not his jam, to say the least. Let's jump right into some of these clips of Ben Shapiro saying these very things, that the files don't exist. It's all a hoax. We're crazy.
Files. There are none. Okay, as far as the Epstein list, there is no Epstein list. The evidence suggested there really was not an Epstein list if you were watching this case with any sort of eagle eye.
The Justice Department released so many records from the Epstein files today, more than 3 million
Guys,
pages plus videos and photos, that if you were to print them out and stack them up, they'd be about 3 times taller than the Statue of Liberty.
The Epstein files. There are none. More than.
Is that not the best thing you've ever seen? He literally is an idiot. And like, I hate even saying that right now because I try not to be mean. But the truth is the truth. The man is brain dead. Anybody who said these files didn't exist, Kash Patel, no one was Traff, that none of that went on, and that the victims are just all lying. Everyone is just lying just to lie and make up these horrific stories just cause is disgusting. It literally makes me sick. Well, we all know that Candace Owens did an episode where she made fun of Ben Shapiro, and I want to bring that up because before we actually jump into some of the file stuff, let me get rid of this Instagram post, and then I'm going to pull up this clip from Candace because it was really good. That was Real Daily News, by the way, from Instagram, who did that, put that clip together, and that was really good. By the way, I forgot to say that. I thought that was awesome to save all of us from having to watch hours of Ben Shapiro to put it together. You saved us. You're amazing. And let's watch this clip.
And claim there were tens of thousands of hours of tape. There are, by the way, but they are child pornography. The reason the FBI is not releasing them is because those tapes do not include underage people with third parties on Epstein Island. That is not what the tapes are. I also have sources in the federal government who are covering this stuff and have seen the documents. Those tapes are just child porn. That's all. That's what they are. That's why the FBI is not releasing them. As far as the Epstein list, what I have been told by my sources is that there is no Epstein list, that basically there's a black book of Jeffrey Epstein contacts. And the vast majority of those contacts are already out there publicly. That's why you know names like Prince Andrew or Alan Dershowitz or some of the names that have been mentioned here. Those contacts, there is no evidence, according to the DOJ and the FBI, and again, that's public. There's no evidence that any of those third parties were having girls trafficked to them. And that is not evidence that was made clear, certainly, to the DOJ or the FBI. Here is Tucker then asserting that it was actually Mossad. Again, without evidence, not a shock. Of course, this is where Tucker was going. This has become the hot speculation on the internet, is without evidence. You say that Mossad was running Jeffrey Epstein. When I say without evidence, I mean without evidence. Naftali Bennett, the former Israeli prime minister, said, quote, "As a former Israeli prime minister, with the Mossad having reported directly to me, I say to you with 100% certainty, the accusation that Jeffrey Epstein somehow worked for Israel or the Mossad running a blackmail ring is categorically and totally false. This accusation is a lie being peddled by prominent online personalities such as Tucker Carlson, pretending they know things they don't." And in fact, I followed up with the former prime minister, Naftali Bennett, and what he told me is that Mossad has not been active in the United States since the or against the United States since the Jonathan Pollard scandal of 1987, when a U.S. Army contractor who's actually working for the Navy revealed classified information to the Israeli government. He was prosecuted by the United States government and ended up in prison.
I didn't watch this whole clip. This is
years.
hilarious.
And so Israel since then has not spied on the United States with Mossad.
Okay, guys. Well, there you have
Exactly what she said. So there you have it. Everyone is lying. It was all a hoax. Nothing to see here. No proof. It's just all made up. I'm glad, Ben, that you cleared that up for everybody, except for now you are in the position of we have a lot of questions because the person who said this didn't exist, this is a figment of your imagination. The victims are not to be believed. This is nonsense. His sources told him there is no Epstein files. I wonder who these sources are. I mean, if you're rolling around being Ben Shapiro's friend, I'm not sure. You know, it's one of those things where it's like when someone says something bad about you, I always say consider the source. Like if the source is a total moron, then the opinion doesn't matter because I have to respect a person in order to value their opinion. And so, yeah, it's like one of those things. Anything coming out of his mouth is like useless information. Honestly, though, he does make a lot of people laugh and he gets caught up in a bunch of different lies. And he's always onto something, I swear. But he is entertainment for a good amount of us. Depending on how bad he is, he can be pretty unbearable. I'm going to show you guys the article regarding the Epstein files and the list that Pam Bondi released. And our homeboy here, I'm joking, homeboy, our buddy old pal, good old Benny, is on that list. And so that is hilarious. He is, we'll find him. He's, I believe, at the end. Right, hold on. This is page 5-6. He's somewhere down here, I thought. Right here. So where my cursor is, like right there, because it won't let me highlight it. Ben Shapiro. So that's funny because the files that he claims don't exist. Well, then how the hell is your name on there? I'm guessing that's like all coincidence, Ben. You just like your name just accidentally ended up on these because they didn't exist, right? This is great. This is great. When Candace comes back from break, she's going to have a field day, I'm sure, with this. I'm going to pull this up. This from the DOJ website. And they make it very easy. You can just literally look up the e-files and then you can go down to keywords and where it says search and type in whatever you're looking for. And it's going to populate everything that name is associated with. So he was in, it looks like right here, he's on a bunch of emails, essentially. And this is one of the emails. This is, I mean, the emails are all really weird when you read them because I just think this is talking about a honeypot. So it says, Alan, besides your, what does it say, superb defense work for E and all the enjoyers of Clinton, Barack, Wexner, Maxwell, Andrew, Trump, Dersh, of his hospitality, did you clowns have an operational role in the apparent honeypot blackmail ops? Don't you think now would be a good time to be reconciled to your maker? Glad to discuss shalom. So yeah, this is, the rest of the email. But either way, I just think it's funny that Ben Shapiro is in some of these emails and that he's on this list anyway. And I'm curious what else probably isn't out yet because we know that isn't there something like it's some crazy amount still of files that have not been released. Like I think it's in the millions. I thought that's what I heard. I don't know. I just know it's like a crazy amount. So yeah, I'm curious to see what Benny Boy, what else is out there in these not released files yet on him, because I'm sure that this little email chain is not the only thing. Just a hunch. Like I said, he gives me the ick. He strikes me as like a creep. I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate all of you. Let me know in the comments what you think of Ben Shapiro being in the files. And is this not funny? Because when they made that meme about him riding on a donkey, that was perfection. And that's all I think of when I hear Ben Shapiro's name, other than a clown. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you on the next one.